Dynasty Radio, 1382.
Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody, my mama has a Facebook. Your daddy has a Facebook. My auntie has a Facebook. My dog has a Facebook. Your church advertise on Facebook. Y'all sell chicken flakes on Facebook. Your pictures up on Facebook. Looking fly, you know that ain't how you look on Facebook. Your life stories on Facebook. Your chicken grease on Facebook. Your graduation on Facebook. Just because you took the gown don't mean you graduated. Come on, everybody has a Facebook. 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 You know that ain't how you really look. Everybody has a Facebook. This lady had a baby on Facebook. This man got shot on Facebook. Somebody got saved on Facebook. Ain't mad at you if that's real. Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. Come on, man. You know you got a Facebook. This girl met her daddy on Facebook. He was trying to explain why he took so long. Daddy, you should have just called my phone. You just got a computer and now you want me to come home. On Facebook. I met a person on Facebook. You met a person on Facebook. I didn't really know him. It's just a friend suggestion, and I took it. I mixed confirmed. So, you know, then I found out a stalker was on Facebook. And then they started stalking me on Facebook. Oh, Lord. This girl called me on Facebook. Okay, listen, boy. Hey, everybody has a Facebook. I know everybody has a Facebook. If you got a computer, you have a Facebook. If you don't got a computer, you don't have a social life, because Facebook is the new social life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Listen. Everybody has a Facebook. I ain't finished. Your wedding was on Facebook. Your status changed on Facebook. 3 weeks later, you was on Facebook. Then you were single again. Oh, God, really? Your girlfriend was on Facebook.
Yes, she was. That song still be having me jumping, y'all. When I hear that song come on, I know it is time for some news on Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. So if you're not awake yet, by the time the show is over with, hopefully you will be. Hello, this is your girl, T. Makia Zuri, and I'm affectionately known as Empress T. And you are listening to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. I know it is 8 o'clock p.m. here where I'm at in the Mountain Standard Time, but I do know it's 10 o'clock in the Central and 11 o'clock in Eastern. So I say peace and love to all of you who are hanging on, who are listening to us. And I know it's past your bedtime. I know it is, but I do appreciate you tuning in and listening to the show. Now, if you are new to Dynasty Network, I say welcome. I mean, you know, thank you for checking us out. Maybe you heard about us, and whatever you heard, if it was good, it's good, you know. But I'm glad you checked us out, and you are more than welcome to go to our website, dynastynetwork.net. Go over there, and you can find out all about us. You can hear some good music. You can, you know, find out the show ideas. The show lineups. You can find out the times and all that good stuff. You can also leave us information, or you got any feedback for us, you can do so at info@dynastynetwork.net. I just did another show, so now my mouth is all tied up and everything. But I'll be joined here by my sisters in a few moments. Actually, a few seconds, and also my brother. I believe my brother Will Justin is on the phone with us tonight, too. So, again, hello to all of you in the chat room. Man, y'all ready, huh? I see y'all in there. And those of you on the phone line, peace and love to you. Those of you who are listening to us via our new phone app, I say peace and love to you, and also to those of you who are just, you know, you got us on your little laptop, your Mac Daddy, if you got a Mac Daddy, or your PC. We say peace and love to you, too. Peace and love to all of y'all asses out there. Thank you for tuning in. And just so you know, this is a show about news. We bring the news that we find on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, any of those social medias, and we bring it and we talk about it because, as you know, we always say, you can't believe the news 100%. So what we do is we dissect it. We talk about it. We get your opinion about it. So this is a live call, and you are more than welcome to join the roundtable. 646-716-7572. We will be joined by Dr. Yafa Bay again tonight, you know, and those of you who didn't get a chance to talk to her on Sunday, she's here again tonight. So, you know, hey, If you want to bring it, bring it. Ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody scared, okay? So anyway, peace and love to my sister KJ. Can you Jones?
Peace,
okay.
How you doing?
I'm right there. I can see her breathing. I can see her breathing. Peace and love, my sister. How you doing?
I am good. I'm good. And yourself? And peace and love to the family out there that's listening.
Wonderful. I am hot, and I'm about to grab Dr. Yasabe. I got my Moscato here. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. So those of you who are listening and you got some Moscato on your shelf, go grab it. Let's get it in, okay, on Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. Now let me go ahead and grab my other sister, Dr. Yasabe. Peace and love, sis.
Harambe, shalom.
Harambe.
Hey,
yeah.
What's up, ladies? How are you?
Hey, sis. I'm good.
We good. We ready to get in. We ready to get in. And let me go ahead and grab. Oh, is he still there? Let me see. Oh, he's there. Will Justice. Peace and love, King. Are you there? Will, you there? Okay. Well, he said he was there, so I tell you what, Will, you're going to have to hang up and call back in. Did I get the right number, though? Maybe I got the wrong number. Oh, yeah, he hung up. Okay, he's got to call back in. Anyway, so, hey, so what y'all got? Let's get right into the news. We're going to start. Who wants to start? We can start with either UKJ or we can start with let's start with Dr. Yaffa. You got some news, Dr. Yaffa?
Yes,
We
yes,
first. I never come to the table with news because I don't watch the news. I only know what's going on based on anybody reaching out and sharing. But one of my listeners, an ex-sheriff deputy from Los Angeles County, brought something to my attention. She was like, Mr. Yaffa, I was listening to the show on Sunday where you were on the hot seat. And she said, you know how for the longest you've been telling your listeners that they're after everybody's children? She said, and you said something about the children even on Sunday. She said, well, I see what you're talking about. Look into something called the Family Intervention Program. So I looked into that, and I'm like, oh, God, do people even see what I see? I guess in Scotland, England, and a couple other European countries, they're setting it up so that children are appointed a government guardian, and this is something she came across on the Alex Jones InfoWars website, but they're appointing children a government-appointed guardian from birth because they're trying to say that the parents don't have a clue how to take care of children. You don't know when is the best time to put them to bed at night. You don't know what types of things should go in their school lunches. Let them tell it they want to make sure the children are not molested or abused or whatever the case may be. So these individuals are there, and in some of these governments, they're actually putting cameras inside of the home, and you have no choice, no say-so whatsoever in the matter. The government wants to put cameras in the house, cameras it is. If they want your child to have a government-appointed guardian from birth, guardian you will have. And the problem I have is, see, people don't see what I see, and I've been telling people for the longest, everybody's on this whole black, white, gay, straight, rich, poor, whatever, benefits, not benefits scenario, but while they have everybody barking at everyone and, biting one another in the butt down on the low echelon levels of society, the people that want to be the elite, which are not the elite, they're just a bunch of crazy behinds that wind up at the top of the world some kind of way. But these individuals are really after everybody's children. They've been predatory from the start. They're still predatory, and they will continue to be predatory, and I don't see them doing anything different because it's not possible. I mean, look at it like this, for people that can't put it in its context. And those that have dealt with Child Protective Services before know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have dealt with them because I had custody of one of my relatives once. And I'm telling you, the Child Protective Service situation in the courts will have you where your whole life is almost destroyed. You cannot miss work. You cannot miss court. They don't care if you just got your job and you're still on probation or whatever the case may be. If they say that you are to be in court on a particular day at a particular time, you better be there, or that is not good for you. and the chances of you getting or holding on to this child. Here, sweetie, there's your water.
Right.
We'll come up out of here. I'm not trying to hear from you tonight. I'm on the phone. At any rate, Child Protective Service, look at this government guardian as this. The United States decides that every child in the United States is going to be appointed a Child Protective Services guardian from birth, okay? And when they reach a certain age, then they wind up in some kind of committee or something. But at any rate, this individual that you get may not like you. You may not like them. You may or may not even get along. This individual in and of themselves could be a predator because, remember, predators and child molesters, or should I say child rapists, let's call it what it is. It's not a molester, it's a raper. A child raper, they have a tendency to get into Child Protective Services, Boy Scout, Girl Scout camp leading, priest, athletic event coaching, school janitors, and different things. They get where children are, okay? Right. That's what they do. These individuals will get into this whole thing as a guardian. Now, keep in mind this. In the United States, there are very heavy hitters, heavy power hitters, that are trying to make it legal to have sex with a child of any age in the United States, and the parents be damned. They feel like they don't need to be fixed. They don't need repair. They don't care what you think. Just make it legal. There's nothing wrong with them. Just make this legal. Now, the APA, the American Psychiatry Association, is backing this. Harvard, Yale, Johns Hopkins University. These are some very powerful heavy hitters that are backing this type of legislation in this country. So, remember also that they say children are sexual beings from birth. There is also legislation on the table where they're saying no one can challenge a child that is gay or homosexual or anything else about the child's sexuality. The child can do what they want to do where their sexuality is concerned. The parents have no say-so. So if you have no say-so in your child's sexuality or orientation, whether it's with adults or not or what the case may be, and you have a guardian, let's say that, see, now remember, I had a Child Protective Services agent, and with them, they can show up at your house 24 hours a day. Anytime they want to show up, whether it's a holiday, a weekday, a weekend, or whatever the case. If they knock on the door, you better open the door and you better let them in. If you do not let them in, that could be a problem. If they report it wrong, the child can be removed from your household. And once they come in, they have the authority to walk all throughout your house, look in every drawer, every cabinet, every cupboard, in the refrigerator. If they don't like the food they see or don't see, maybe it's the day before payday and things are a little short. If they feel like the house is not clean enough, never mind the fact that your child just ran through there, throwing everything everywhere and made a total mess of the place, which you'll have to clean up at the end of the day. Or your child just got out of the tub and maybe their hair knot is not done yet or they're not dressed yet, whatever the case may be. If they don't like what they see, and who says they have the right to decide. If they don't like what they see, they can have the child removed from your house. If they don't like you for whatever reason, your attitude, your tone of voice, you didn't answer a question correctly, or whatever the case, they can have the child removed from your house. Once they take the child, if they are also a predator and a child rapist, they can rape and molest your child or put your child in foster homes or group homes where your child can be raped and molested by the foster parents or other children in the home that are there for abuse, and the foster parents may or may not know that these other children have been sexual victims because they don't really disclose that. But off your child goes with God only knows what. And once they remove the child from your care, now you really have no say in what's going on with the child because you're non-custodial. Okay? So if somebody is raping and molesting your child and your child brings it to your attention and you try to bring it to someone, one, if they get away with making it legal in this country, well, what's your problem? There's no crime committed here. It is legal here to have sex with children. And the child is a sexual being, and they have the right to decide. For me, myself, I don't think that no government here or anywhere else has the right to say we're going to put cameras in your house and appoint a guardian by the government to your child from birth that has 24-hour access to you, your child, and your home. And, you know, we don't even know who the hell the people are that you're appointing to people. Do you even know who you're hiring? I think that's something that people really need to look at because, to me, you are creating a snowball they can roll straight down the hill all the way into hell. If they get, because see, if this is okay in England, well, England and the Vatican and the international bankers in Israel basically run the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these are people that think it's okay to have sex with children. So if they manage to move these types of legislations here, what's next? And I'm not creating the fear-mongering. I just see the big picture because they've always been after everybody's children.
Right. I know. Like, what do you say to that?
So that's called the family intervention program.
Family intervention program. Okay.
People got making a whole lot of noise here, screaming and hollering. They even have a sister that's like, well, you know, people need to understand that your children don't belong to you. The children belong to the community. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I understand what the sister's trying to say.
Right.
You don't know words, you don't know language, you don't know context, and you don't know the culture of these crazy bastards that are in charge. That their children do not belong to the parents or the family. Huh?
No, so the children don't belong to it belongs to the community, but the government is saying the children belong to me. And as we know, when you have these children and they get these birth certificates and things like that, I mean, that's a whole other show. But do they really, they don't really belong to you as far as that goes anyway. As far as they're talking about it, they don't.
They do and they don't. The children, the government has already given your child a birth certificate and a social security number from birth. Now they want to give them government guardians. If they're starting it in Europe, they're going to try to bring that shit here. But the children do belong to you. Most people still have a problem comprehending the difference between you and you yourself. They have yet to comprehend the difference between the natural flesh and bone person and the artificial corporate fiction person. All of that is you, but only one of them is you yourself, and you yourself need to know the distinction between you yourself and you. You can utilize the corporate fiction artificial person to your advantage, but they will utilize it to your detriment. And you better know the difference when they're coming after you to your detriment. That's a whole other show. Your listeners know what I'm talking about. My listeners know what I'm talking about. You guys probably don't.
That you. Talking about the you and you and you, that did something to my Moscato. But,
No, Y-O-U is a plural word. The word Y-O-U in the Anglo-Saxon has been considered in the plural only. And it did not become something that was applied to singular until the Belgic crawled from up under a rock and basically went in, overthrew Britain, and then called it England, overthrew Scotland, Ireland, and then around the world overthrowing all these empires and trying to make you be a singular thing when you is really a plural term.
I see. Wow.
Always means more than one person. And persons are of two types. Natural flesh and bone and corporate fiction entity. And the legal corporate fiction artificial person, it is a U.S. citizen like all other corporate entities. McDonald's is a U.S. citizen. Walmart is a U.S. citizen. Jack in the Box is a U.S. citizen. The city of Los Angeles is a U.S. citizen. You know what I'm saying? The county of Los Angeles is a U.S. citizen. The states are not. But all other corporate entities are U.S. citizens. And people that are flesh and bone need to know the difference between them and the artifice that was created after the fact. That's how you can try to hold on to your children. But a lot of people you're going to be talking to don't know what you're talking about, and if they do, they're going to act like they don't. And again, I'm not over your head, but my listeners know what I'm saying.
That's good. We following you. And and if we don't see what's happening with our children by now, I don't know what else we can say, because they have, like you said, they've been after our children for the longest, and they're coming full.
Right.
They're not gonna rest until they have total control over what we can and cannot do with our children. What we can say and not say to our children. They're not gonna stop until they think they have total control over that. We have to realize that that's a form of child abuse. Of them trying to take control of our children, that is a form of child abuse, because now your child is not going to be depending on you per se as a mother or father. Now your child is going to be depending upon this, I'm going to say surrogate parent, if I can use that word for that. And since you were talking about child abuse, that went right into the story that I had about this sister who beat the hell out of this dude who molested her boys. We always say,
and I
don't. Yeah, and she should have. And I don't say it like I used to say it. I need to say it more. I had my little campaign going, watch your damn babies. Sisters, watch your damn babies. And this sister right here, she beat the hell out of him. 27-year-old sister. She's the mother of 2 young boys, 8 and 9 years of age. Let me bring this up a little bit, because if I drink any more Moscato, I'm going to have to blow up to about 180 so I can really read it. But anyway, 27-year-old mother of 2 young boys, 8 and 9 years of age, is being charged with assault. Actually, this story is really old, y'all. I just found it, though, so I'm going to read it anyway. This is like a year old, almost a year old. Is being charged with assault after nearly beating a community coach to death for allegedly molesting her son. She said, I asked my son, did he touch you bad? Did he touch you down there? And my little boy said, yes. And I said, was it just you? And he said, no. He touched some more kids. Okay? So Richmond's concerns were heightened when she received a phone call from the head coach of the community football team located in Memphis, Tennessee, on Saturday requesting a meeting with the coach who allegedly molested her son. As she made her way to the meeting, Richmond spotted the alleged child molester, Coach Red, during her commute. He was running away, said Richmond. I didn't say anything to him. I just blinked out. When I saw him, I saw my kids being hurt. That's it. So neighbors say Richmond chased the coach down the street. You go, sister. Chased the coach down the street to a neighbor's carport and beat the man with the bat. There was blood splattered all over my carport, said a neighbor, Jackie Woods. She beat his head open, split his head. Rich said she didn't call police to report the coach, but everything happened quickly. I was hoping the police made it to him before I did. She said he was saying that he didn't do it and was sorry. If you didn't do it, why are you saying you're sorry?
Exactly.
Neighbors don't believe Richmond should have been taken to jail for beating the coach. They're suffering. They toss and turn at night, and they really just ain't sleeping because they've been scared. They were even scared to tell me. I mean, I'm their mom, states Richmond.
No
if
children
I don't
tell.
protect them, who will? Yeah, and they were scared to tell her.
Even
but
teenagers aren't telling.
Right. I didn't realize the story was several months old, so I would like to follow up and see what they did to her. Because according to this, they arrested her. I'm just curious what they did.
They probably put her children in child protective services while they were at it.
Yeah. But I would have did it too.
So as old as it is, it's still piggybacking on the story, though. You see?
It is.
Yes,
like you said, coach. Didn't I say coach?
You did.
Yeah. Community coach.
Now they're talking about child molestation, and they're claiming that they're doing this because of that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying what you just said, because you said earlier that the children, they said the sister was saying that our children are not ours, they belong to the community. This is a community coach that did this to these children.
Right.
The community that she's saying our children belong to.
Well, they already think that. It's not just our children, they're after everybody's children. Like I said, this is something they're doing in Scotland. I think England, like maybe Sweden or Switzerland, one of the two, they're setting all this stuff up. So, as I say, coming to a neighborhood near you or coming to a theater near you.
Yeah. Well, we already know they never did like their damn children, no way. Children or women.
No, they didn't. That's why a lot of them are so damn crazy.
Crazy shit. So, anyway, and also, I hold my other stories because I got a couple stories where they crazy asses done try to take their children out of here altogether. But, KJ, do you have a story?
Yes, I have a story. I ran across this photo today on somebody's page, and it says, the commentary says, why? Because these politicians pass these laws so they can benefit from it. That's why they do it. So the photo is showing a picture book, like a children's book. And let me read the actual photo. Y'all, the people that's listening can go to our Wake the Hell Up Wednesday page to actually see it. And it looks like I posted the whole book in a video as well under the link. So it says, one night when he was holding me, talking about Uncle Pete. My Uncle Pete comes over sometimes. He lives with us every now and again. He's really kind to me, holding me and listening to me, making me feel loved. One night when he was holding me, he started touching my private parts. Over time, he taught me to touch and play with his. It felt very strange and scary and a little good, too. He told me it was okay. That was the means, that this means that he really loves me. This went on for several months. He told me this is our special secret. So this is a book, y'all. This book is, wow. I actually went on there, and the book is about this, of course, me and the little boy. Parents always fighting. His uncle come over, and he was starting to listen. Then he grows up, and he's a teenager, and they call him faggot, gay and all that other stuff. But this stuff is a lot of reason why I feel, because I've known a lot of homosexual boys through church, y'all, through church. A whole suite of them. I used to be in this real life choir. And they, majority, if not all of them that I've heard, because I would ask questions, but they had this little powwow one day, and they admitted, all of them admitted to being molested. And that's why they were, really flamboyant and gay. But I was surprised that they actually had a book like this, kind of going through all that. If y'all need to see it, I don't know what y'all, but this is a children's book, and I think it is called, I don't even know what it's called. They didn't have the beginning of the book. Is that they immediately open the book, and it's showing each page and what it says. But, yeah, it's about pedophile, I guess they call him Pedo Pete. I don't know. Oh, wow. But, yes, this is a real-life book for children. So I don't know how that plays
wow. How in the world is it that all of us tonight, all of us come out the top of the gate with a story about predators and those that hate children while claiming to love them? You have to hate the child. You have to hate the child. Hi. Somebody just chimed in, brother.
We've been joined by Will Justice. Peace, King.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah, I would like to add to that where their so-called everybody's heard of platonic relationship, right? Mm-hmm. They would say that Plato was a child molester. He was a pedophile. He did not like women. He liked children. Mm-hmm. So this is in the beginning of their so-called philosophers, who they esteem. Right. And they esteem these people knowing that they're pedophiles. You got to remember where they come from. When they were in those caves, they were just grabbing onto anything and sticking wherever it went in, without even having a language. So it's part of their nature.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a funny thing too, though. It's like they'll grab you and throw you in jail for a plant, but they won't shut down a place that teaches about NAMBLA. And that's in Massachusetts is the origin of NAMBLA. They don't raid their offices or nothing. They say they have a right to say this stuff. They have a right to put out material in order trying to teach you how to basically how to catch a little boy to fuck him. And they're saying, they have a right to do it because of their First Amendment right. Really? I mean, that's part of who they are. And it's like, I mean, here's the thing, though. That's the whole reason why they want you in their schools. They want you to soften. They want to take your rights away. If you're a parent, they don't want you to be community-minded. I don't even know, a little while ago, they even actually restructured the districts, even though we're not, we shouldn't even be dealing with this system. And I wish Dr. Yalfa would get into how you become a sovereign. I mean, so we can basically be not under their jurisdiction. But the whole point is they're doing it by deception. They're making sure that they can get contact with your children, and then if you report them, the only thing they're going to do is fire back at you and say that you're unfit, so they can do it even worse. I mean, right. And if the child is accused of committing a crime, they put them into DYS, Department of Youth Services, is what it's called where I'm from. And there was a case that didn't even make the news, but I know these people. They had a guy in there that had another a resident shaking keys while he was raping residents in there. I mean, they knew about this. They briefly publicized it. They left it alone. But they're saying, oh, they're allowed to say this type of stuff. I mean, and now it's like, okay, it's okay to say it. Now they're like, okay, now it's going to be okay to do it. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. But
wow.
We already know that the separation of our family is to make sure that you are not strong enough or be able to defend the rights. Like when the sister beat the crap out of dude, she had a right to do that. It's like
right.
Another one where the coach, she caught the guy in the act of actually raping her son and stabbed him, and then they arrested her. Why they arresting her for?
Because it's their culture. That's normal. What they're being caught doing is normal for them. That's why different people, like in Canada and other places, like Kevin Arnett and these different cats are going after these crazy bastards. Because a lot of them have been affected or impacted, or they know people personally. In other words, while everybody's down here tripping on one another for little stuff, you're missing the big stuff. You're not looking where you should be looking.
I mean, I got to speak on my own experience as, I was down for, in Kitty Cam, DYS, for a violent crime, and they treat the sexual offenders way different than they treat the VO, the violent offenders. The SO, sexual offenders, get completely different treatment. And it's like...
They get treated softer.
Yes, and it's like, and if you target them, they tried to say, me, I don't have any empathy. I have plenty of empathy for the victims. I don't have no empathy. And so when I choose to torture them, and I'm the type of person, I don't care about your consequences. I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. Fuck your rule. You know what I'm saying? I feel uncomfortable around them. I think that I said it straight up and down like they all deserve to die. You know what I'm saying? Slowly. We should publicize it and put it, you know what I'm saying, where everyone can see as a warning to anybody else who would want to violate. And I don't care. You can call me whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tolerate that type of crap. Period. I don't want anyone that's like that around me. I understand some people get falsely accused, but when it comes down to it, the people who are have multiple victims and stuff like that, and they sit there and they let these people
they just need to put them down like rabid dogs.
Exactly. Nah. See that? Just putting them down ain't good enough. You gotta let them feel some pain before they go.
Payback. You may have already felt pain. You have to remember, although I understand it doesn't excuse or justify it, not all, but a vast majority of those have been victims themselves. Now, everybody's been a victim does not become a terrorizing perpetrator. But a lot of these people that are terrorizing perpetrators, a vast majority of them at some point in time have been victims of horrible terror. But it still doesn't justify it. Go get some goddamn help or, swallow a bunch of pills, take yourself out. I don't know what you got to do, and going to the church and confessing to a priest ain't good enough because he might just take you behind the confession booth and y'all are getting busy. So that don't work for me either.
Right.
Right.
You know that they've been letting that go on for years. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they have rituals they don't even tell you about, because if they can have a demonology section, a demonology office right there in the Vatican, and they sit there and they speak on these different demons and different sacrifices and stuff like that, and it's still standing to this day, and they have an underground place.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got some background noise going on here. I'm going to start muting phones till I kind of get it out so I can hear what you're saying. I hope it's not you.
Nah, it's not
okay,
me.
go ahead. Yeah. Okay. I just want to let y'all know if I start muting your phone, just because I'm trying to find where that's coming from so we can hear. Okay, go ahead, and then we're going to go to the next story.
They actually have bones of children, bones of babies down in the Vatican, and wherever you have a convent or monastery, they do a lot of stuff where they are targeting children. They want their children. It's like, that's why these religions, they death style. That's all they about. They're all about separation and trying to corrupt and destroy the child. That's all it's about. And it's like that's why we need to learn how to get our own and separate and make sure that they don't have any. There's no way that they can ever come and take any of ours. Like you'd have to kill me in order to get one of mine. You know, straight up. There's no other way. I'm not just handing them over. And why they do these things is because they fucked up in their own spirit, and they know it. Some of them don't even have soul. Let's know this. Some people just don't have soul. I mean, if you keep it, they're here to destroy. That is their sole purpose. And who is, you know what I'm saying, before you can grow, like, there's a book called Kill Them Before They Grow, and it's talking about within the education system, but it's going to get worse. I mean, they've been doing it underground forever. They're just now making it more publicized so they don't get in trouble for it. You know,
Let me add two things before we switch stories. One, you were saying they'd have to come and kill you first. That's why Child Protective Services shows up with law enforcement in tow. So they are prepared to put you down if they have to, arrest you or kill you if necessary to take your child. That's one. And if you're dead, you can't help your child that's in Child Protective Services. If you're incarcerated, you cannot help your child that's in Child Protective Services. You can't even visit them if you're incarcerated or dead or anything else to hear what's going on with them. That's one. And two, in these countries that I'm talking about where they're assigning government guardians from birth, if you are a criminal, you don't have the right to have your children at all. So you know what that would do to a whole lot of money. You know, a criminal life standard based on what? Who defines criminal? You know how many people are accused of crimes that never did a dang thing because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time? Oh, you took the description. Well, it wasn't you, but you were there, or this kind of business. So a lot of people are sitting up in prison and didn't do a dang thing. Except, you know, you sitting at a bus stop and your homie rolls up, hey, man, where you going? You need a ride? Yeah, I'm going on so-and-so. I'm going here. Yeah, give me a ride. You get in the car and the police, whoop, whoop, whoop. And off you go to jail because it's a stolen car. Well, hell, nobody told you it was a stolen car. You just wanted a ride. So, you know, a lot of people are considered being criminals, and they are not criminal by nature just because they have a record. So go ahead. I just wanted to make sure y'all understand that.
Yeah, sure did. Well, you got to also, there's another book they sat there and talked about. We are targeted in order to get us a record so that we are disqualified from our rights. That is the whole point. It's just slavery by another name by Douglas Blackwell. Speaks on this, how they just sit there and they'll grab you for vagrancy. They be like, oh, you don't have any money, you're vagrant, and lock your ass up. You don't have to commit a crime to be committed into the system. And then there's another thing with this mental health thing, where they'll sit there and they'll lie and say that you have a mental health problem when you really don't. And they used to use it to sterilize people to make sure you can't have any children. All right? And to take away your rights to your children. It's like, it's just, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and they figuring all the angles they can do it, you know what I'm saying, and get away with it. And this is one of them. They had I don't know, there's a few, probably about a year ago, they said in the German, they said it was healthy for you to massage your daughter's, father to massage his daughter's genitals. I'm like, what kind of crap?
That's a government publication that fathers in Germany can get. On how to do that. They get that from the government on how to molest your children. That is a government issued pamphlet that you're talking about right there.
Wow.
They've been on this. But
that's
it's
their
like
culture. Other people around the world didn't know that about them when they showed up. They didn't know they were predators. They didn't know they were sodomites. They didn't know they were pederasts. They didn't know they were cannibals and blood drinkers. They just basically came into other people's countries, and, you know, people are relatively, for lack of better words, innocent by nature, and here comes a total psychopathic, sociopathic, crazy, and you're just caught totally off guard. By the time you realize it, shoot, you're too late. You're on the menu or something.
Yeah, sure indeed.
Right.
They corrupt. I mean, we didn't even, like, this child molestation stuff was not going on in our cultures. They are anti-culture. They're the cancer of the earth. They're the virus of the earth, and that's what it is. And it's like, basically, it's like they're trying to make sure that the whole world is on the same stuff they are, so you can't point the finger at them. You can't point the finger at them like, yo, you're the origin to all of these problems. And they get offended. They're like, well, you know, all pinkies aren't bad. some of us like to help. Yeah, help yourself to one of our children. That's what you mean.
Damn.
That's what you
Wow.
I want to add this that they have been getting us ready this whole time. If we just pay attention, I always say, if you watch TV, because I don't, but I used to, but I watch movies all the time. But if you pay attention, they have been getting us ready to be desensitized to this. When it do come, because it's coming. When it does come, some of us will be upset, outraged, but for the most part, we're going to be desensitized to it. I was watching a movie yesterday on my little movie day, because I have movie days on Monday and Tuesday, whatever. But anyway, I was watching the movie, and this pink boy, he had met this other, I think she was Somalian or something, but he had met her, and they ended up having sex. So I'll take it back. Yeah, they ended up having sex, and after they had sex, he asked her, for some reason, he asked her after he had sex with her, he asked her, how old are you? She said, well, I'll be 15 next month. And he said,
wow.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? She said, silly, I'm just joking, right? And so then the movie switches over to another couple who was getting murdered by the monster. I like a lot of horror flicks. Then it bounced back to this couple, and then he says, really, how old are you really? She said, I am 17, though. And he was like, I hope your father don't find out. They have several movies like this. It went over like nobody gets in trouble. It's no big deal. Even if she was 14, it's no big deal. Just little daddy don't find out. Your daddy don't find out. We're okay. And they're getting us ready when they put things like this in these movies. They're getting us ready. It's sensitizing us. So when it does hit, it won't sting as bad. It won't sting as bad like they did with homosexuality. They did the same thing. When you looked around, they started, first the men was kind of having a crush on each other. Then all of a sudden you saw them kissing. Next thing you know, they're on HBO and they full-fledged having sex. Getting us ready for this whole thing, and it's called desensitizing.
They're taking what do you call it? They're taking things slowly off of the list, like, because a little while ago in the 70s, homosexuality was a mental defect. Now they make it a mental defect. So the next thing is pedophilia. Pedophilia is going to become no longer a mental defect. They got sexuality where they like objects. They're sexually attracted to objects. So someone could be sexually attracted to a lamp, and they want to marry their lamp. And then the bestiality. They've been fucking horses and dogs and chickens and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even in some of these so-called holy books, they talk about if a man has sex with a daggone animal, to kill the animal afterwards. I mean, come on now. They've been on it. They've been doing it. That's what they are. They can't help it. It's like the whole thing is about power and control and destruction. That's all they're about. Like I said, they are a walking cancer. They're a walking virus, and all they do is they come to destroy. They don't come to do anything else. I mean, they will pollute your water, your air, the way, they pollute the way that you eat. They even feed you plastic. And I don't think y'all remember a little while ago they had the rice. They had fake rice that was made out of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Who you think was doing that? I mean, now they're modifying all this food in order to make sure that your hormones are imbalanced. Therefore, you are confused. Because they want your energies messed up. The whole music thing is all about getting your energies messed up. So that you're not on a path of life. Because there was no such thing as secular music back in the day. Our science, religion and science were the same thing. I mean, now they got this stuff where they just talking about some old fantasy stuff, and it's like it has nothing to do with nothing. What they're doing is they're ripping off something that they don't even understand and interpreting the way to make it all right to do whatever wrong they feel like it. And then they can point to someone where it was written, like, see, it says right here that this is okay. I mean, that's all they doing. All they doing. Like I said, if they was really against it, they know where NAMBLA headquarters is. But they're saying, oh, no, but they have a right to say it. Even if we don't like it, they have a right to. You know? But
right.
You on the street and say something the pig don't like, you know what I'm saying? They taking your ass in. I mean, they got a right to say what they.
But we don't. You are listening to. Let me go ahead and greet those of you who just joined us here on Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. That's what this is, Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. We are on every Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 10 p.m. Central and 11 Eastern. And you are more than welcome to join us every week. This is a live call-in, and this is a live roundtable. And so we'll open up the phone lines in about 15 minutes, and if you want to get in on the conversation, you can either talk about what you've already heard, or you can talk about some stuff that we haven't even heard. You know, let's talk about it. We're dissecting these stories that's coming off of the news, okay? So if you have any news to bring to the table, you can do so. 646-716-7572. You are joined with myself, Empress T, Kenya Jones. You also joined with Dr. Yafa Bay and Will Justice, okay? That's who's on the round table right now. Now, since we're talking about children, so I guess it's a children era or whatever, but this is one of them Chinese babies. But nevertheless, I thought this story was very interesting. That this baby was flushed down the toilet. Did y'all see that? Okay. Hello, is everybody there? Hello.
We here. I'm here.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was on mute.
I thought y'all was gone.
I'm here too. I hit mute because I'm doing something with the baby.
Okay, thank y'all then. Thank y'all. Now I know y'all will be on mute. Now I know. I apologize because I forgot. Cause I'm like, where'd everybody go? You know, Blog Talk be dropping your asses, so I had to make sure y'all were still here. But yeah, this, let me read y'all the article. It says the police and firefighters in China have rescued a baby from conditions that would be infallible. Oh, no, that's not what it says. Unfathomable in nearly any context. A newborn baby was rescued after being flushed down the toilet by his parents. The child was found inside a sewage pipe after getting stuck directly beneath the toilet, according to the state television. The incident sparked outrage on social media as it added to stories that the Chinese citizens are hearing about babies being abandoned right after being born. The country's one-child law forbids families from having more than one child. But since authorities are not able to find the parents of the baby yet, they did not know why the child was abandoned in such a horrible way. The incident took place in, I can't say this name, so I'm going to say China. Okay, firefighters were first able to hear small cries, and then saw the baby's foot inside the pipe. Amazingly, the child was able to survive after being cut out of the pipe. The pipe was just about 4 inches round. The baby is now in a stable condition, and authorities are looking for the child's parents. Okay, so, I forgot they had that one-child rule. They've been having that since I've been knowing about being on Earth, I think. Well, they only allowed to really have one baby. But I thought that was interesting that how do you flush a baby down the toilet? I'm trying to get there. It must have been a really small baby. Because the picture I'm looking at can't be this can't be the baby that I'm looking at on this picture. Because this baby big as hell. So, again, y'all know this is news. So, you can believe it or not. I can just tell you the picture. There's no way that this baby on this picture was flushed down the toilet. His ass is big. But go ahead.
Maybe he was put in like the sewer. You know what I'm saying? Because they talk about being down the pipe. And it depends on how big that pipe is, because they have a lot, it's densely populated and stuff like that. And that's another thing about these old days. They implemented that policy because they talk about this. Population control thing is actually, it's a big propaganda. They're acting like there's not enough land for everyone, and there is. All right, so I got to put it out there. The Khazarians had did that. The regime,
yeah, right.
They did that. I say Khazarians, they call themselves Jews now, so-called Jews. Now,
that's what they're saying.
And they infiltrated basically the revolution that was going on, and Mao Zedong, all that stuff, that all them people over there, they're being controlled by.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get this. Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
They're being controlled by a specific group of people now, and their policies are being enforced by those who basically they cash in for selling out. So, I mean, they even sell their children. They have an underground market, and you guess who's buying these children is Euros. You know what I'm saying? These Europeans, like, you see it a lot going on. Whereas,
child rapists.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. They even have tourism. They even have sex tourism. You get these, and they're proud of themselves, like, oh, it's legal over there. You know, come on now. I mean, that's what they're all about, and that's why they're trying to make sure that they can't outnumber, because the European knows that they're a minority in this world. They know it.
Now you know why. Isn't that a good thing, considering how much damage has been done? Of course, it's not all of them, but as a people, they've done more damage to the whole world, all the animals, all the environment, all the insects, trees, the mammals that are walking, the ones underground, the dolphins, killer whales. Everything is in trouble with them. The ocean, the air. I mean, they've done more damage in a very short period of time as a people than every other people on the planet, probably combined in all the millions of years that everybody else has been ruling. I think they've done more damage in almost no time than everybody over all time.
Right.
That's real talk. That's real talk. Wow, Miss K-Day, you got something to say about that, or you got another story? And then after we get done with you, my sister, we're going to go ahead and go to the phone lines. I got some people hanging on. Want to join the round table?
I do have another story. Wow. I'm just thinking about this. I'm going to go ahead and get another story. I run across this. I've never heard of this sister ever. And her name is Lena Baker. She was an African-American maid who was executed for murder by the state of Georgia in 1945 for killing her employer. It says Ernest Knight in 1944 at the trial, she said that she was in prison and threatened to shoot her should she try to leave. She took his gun and shot him. Baker was the only woman to be executed by electrocution in Georgia. And in 2005, was granted full unconditional pardon by the state of Georgia, 60 years after her execution.
She was the first woman ever executed, you know, and she was raped by that guy. He was a European dude. He used to rape her all the time. He'd get her intoxicated. Started raping her from when she was a girl, like she was a young girl, like a teenager. He would rape her all the time, and nobody could do anything about it, and everybody would always get angry with her. He would get drunk. He would basically kidnap her. We'd come to her house and take her against her will and against her mother's will because he was a so-called white man, and he had it like that. He could just come and take and rape anybody he wanted to, especially if you're just another nigger. So to defend herself, you know, she was the victim, but they put her to death, and she was the first woman executed. They have a movie out called The Lena Baker Story.
Wow, I never heard of her at all.
Yeah, you can find that. It's called The Lena Baker Story.
I'm a look more into that.
It pisses you off.
Well, you know what? I was reading a little bit about it. I found a couple of sites that was speaking about it, and it said that he moved to Florida, and he brought her with him. And his son told her she had to leave, which she left, and he followed her back to Tennessee, I think it was, back to Georgia. He followed her back to wherever they were from, and that's when he held her captive. And she was executed, and they pardoned her. That was so nice of them. Right, 60 years after the fact.
Well, it's a predatory culture by nature. A lot of them have evolved beyond it because they've been around other people's people. Some of them never liked it from word get-go, but it's a predatory culture by nature. Raping anything is okay in the culture. Little boys, sheep, goats, dogs, llamas, pigs. I mean, you know, if it's got an orifice, it's all good. Little girls, babies, newborns, it's just a culture.
Sick. Wow, that's sick. To think that's just so, you know, the way we view culture, as something that's so positive and, you know, everybody should embrace culture and all this kind of stuff. That's sick to even think that falls in the same line as culture, which it is. It's their nature when you kind of look at it for what it is.
They didn't bring it out in that movie A Time to Kill. In the movie A Time to Kill starring Samuel Jackson. And trust me, that kind of stuff, our people were dealing with that stuff all the time. A little girl walking along the side of the road, two drunken European or so-called white boys in a truck, Yahoo, they look like probably Neanderthal type to me. But, you know, they accosted her and raped her every which way but Sunday and tossed her over a cliff or so, left her ass for dead and she didn't die. And when her father shot them, the whole community, the Ku Klux Klan rallied together, and everybody, they just can't kill no white man, he don't kill. It's like, damn. You guys, all you see is color. You can't see past this was a child. This was a child. And what they fail to realize is, had it been a little so-called white girl walking the same road the same day, it would have been her. And the same two people that did it to her would have probably been the two that would have grabbed some niggas that we caught him raping this little white girl after they did it, because that happened to our people a lot also.
Exactly.
You know what, Dr. Yaffa, my grandma would tell, my grandmother, she's 80, and she told me stories about them walking on the side of the road, coming from school or, you know, going somewhere, and when they would hear a car approaching, they would always run to hide, to find a bush or something to hide behind, because the Neanderthals always, if you was caught on the road by yourself, they would take you.
Yeah, they would take you, they would rape you, they would take you, they would eat you, they would torture you and torment you and get away with it because they play in the race card. The shit they always accusing us of doing, that's all they ever do, play the race card. It's like, that's all they see is color. That's all they see is color.
Right.
That's the thing, though, too, that people, see, they defaming how this gangbanging started shit. Like, I gotta put this out there. You gotta know what it really is. I mean, in our communities, they've been known, even the pigs have been known to roll around. They grab little boys, whatever they want to, whoever they want to. They rape them, and then they bring them to another neighborhood, and then, you know what I'm saying, we end up banging with each other. We be fighting each other, and after comparing notes after a while, listen, they're like, hold up a second, we know who's the cause of this shit. So when we wasn't letting them back in our neighborhoods no more, then we became dangerous. It was all right when we was killing each other. That's why it's all right now. When we was killing each other, that's fine. Don't bang against them. Or if you bang against them, now you dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But they won't never sit there and tell you exactly what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this since forever, and it's like, and if you fight back, now you're a problem. I mean, they only honor you if you fought back. I mean, if you sit there and you just sit there and you keep playing the victim, they're going to keep victimizing you. And the thing is, they don't want us to have that type of unity. They don't. That's why they, on the low, they love that segregation. They don't love the segregation. They love it a little bit, but they love that integration shit because they got more access to do what the fuck they want to now.
That's true.
And the thing is, if we sat there and split, look what they did to Tulsa. All right, I gotta bring Tulsa up, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then the railroads would. I mean, you got like a bunch of stuff happen. They call it riots and stuff like that. And it's like that. You call that a riot? That was y'all doing what y'all are normally, you know what I'm saying, doing. And they sweep it under the rug like nothing happened. You know, and that's what they about, though. And if you fight back, then that's why they sit there and they pardon her because they're going to honor you after they kill you when you fight back because that's all they, like they love that shit. That's why they always have that underdog story because they know that they're the minority and they feel like they're doing something like valiant by doing some violence towards people who are more numerous than they are. And they're like, okay, it's not in their nature to be violent. So I'm going to bring some violence to them, and when they don't fight back, I'm going to feel like I'm big and bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. I mean, they got their own psychology, which is really warped. I mean, that's why they always have themselves as looking like they're the victim, or I'm the poor victim, and then when they do violence, it's like, oh, I'm fighting back. Nah. Let it be the other way around. They shoot down our children in the streets regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not see these so-called good white people coming up to sit there and defend the child that was shot. They shot the brother in the head 8 times, back of the head 8 times. You see any good pink people sitting there saying this is the injustice going on? You know what I'm saying? The first thing they do is they say, oh, he was a gang member. So what if he was? You know what I'm saying? If he was defending himself, I mean, that's another thing. Like if he was fighting back, but nah, they killed him in cold blood. But they do that shit on a regular basis, and then they tarnish your reputation and say, hey, well, this was a bad person from the beginning. We had to protect ourselves by using excessive force, and ain't nobody going to jail for it. Because of what they did.
That's history with them. My grandmother also said, too, y'all, listen to this, and this ties in with the Lena Baker story, that if a white man, quote-unquote, white man, wanted to have sex with your wife, you, the black man, had to move around, step outside the house, and he could come in and do whatever he wants to her. My grandmother said she saw this growing up. This is the type of stuff she was born in the 30s. This type of stuff that she saw growing up.
Fuck that.
And you can't say nothing
because
about
that's what was happening, but that was the culture, but we were called the savages, though. That's why that whole so-called adversary of the creator and creation moving to and fro across the world, spreading sickness wherever they go, and getting all the other peoples of all the other nations to move with them against good, and they use all kind of little derivatives of why we can do this. Oh, they're just black. Oh, they're just Mexican. Oh, they're just poor. Well, they're just gay. Whatever the thing is, they use some, it's just a woman, you know, nobody cares about a whore, or whatever the deal is that they throw out there. You know, they're pagans, they're followers of the devil, and they're consorting with the demons, and they're into witchcraft, or whatever the verbiage is today, communists, terrorists. They always find some verbiage to throw out there to fire people up, to get them to move with the enemy of all that is good in this motion of what that's that Gog and Magog, Gog and the mother of Gog bullshit. That's what it is. That's what it is.
So in a nutshell, you saying, what I hear you say, and this is what I hear you say, that the those others we're talking about are the AKA, this so-called devil.
This is the move that is, for people that are into the Bible, you were a Bible scholar, for lack of better words, they talk about that. Those that will be moving to and fro with the adversary and enemy adversary of good, okay, of all that is the right way to do a thing. They're moving throughout the world, finding so-called good wherever it is, and it is their destined and objective to destroy it. They're bringing death, destruction, rape, robbery, pillaging, and plundering wherever they go, and they're bringing hatred wherever they go, and they're doing it all under the guise of, you know, first it was under the guise of we're against women, then it was under the guise of we're against witches, and then it was, oh, they're consorted with the demons and devils, and then it was this, and then it was that, and then it was this, and then it was today it's terrorists. It's always something. And they will find the proper verbiage to get everybody riled up, to get them on board with Gog and Magog moving against creator and creation and everything that's so-called the right way to do a thing. And people just keep going for it. They just keep going for it all the time.
Oh, I just wanted to drop another factoid. Before Rosa Parks did her protest, she was actually raped. She was gang raped by white boys. Went to the police and nothing was done about it. Right? Nothing was done about it because they were white boys. I mean, and a lot of people don't want to talk about this, and even these so-called Negro organizations don't even want to bring that shit up. Nobody has nobody piper for that. That's what they do. I mean, and it's like, if you want to integrate with these fucking beasts, are you serious? You fuck away from me and mine. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you want to be talk about some not the ones that want to sit there and tell you, no, not everyone is like this, but they want to come in there and start running shit and do it their way They talk about, oh, I don't like the tone of your voice. Bitch, nobody asked you. You know what I'm saying? You don't regulate how I talk or how everything goes. Like, that's how they do. They come in there and they try to run stuff, and you have to corrupt it. They have to destroy it. It's in their anti-nature. That's because they against nature. I mean,
that's not kind of how it goes. It's a little bit different. And not to cut you off, it's a little bit different than that. They always find these entities that have what you call white-looking skin that are not one and the same as this thing I keep trying to tell everybody about. And they will send in, for lack of better words, the honorable one of them or the one that's trusted of them. And see, the problem is so much damage gets caused based on this so-called white skin against those that are dark complexion. But people keep forgetting they started out on people with pale skin first, okay? Now, they would always, with our people, they would always send their so-called, which is not even one of them, a so-called white-looking person that was honest and honorable and had a code of ethics, for lack of better words, amongst our people. And, oh, well, you know, they like you. Why don't you go and make an agreement with them? Why don't you go talk to them? Because they'll talk to you. And it's like, oh, okay. And that person will go and talk to the person and give them their word. And it's like, well, what do you want me to tell? Just give them whatever they want, whatever they need. Just whatever they want, give it to them. Okay, well, they agreed to this and that, and, you know, I give you my word. And our ancestor would go, okay, based on what I know of you, you know, spirit to spirit, or man to man, or person to person, I know you're an honest and honorable person, and I can trust your word. So this person would go back and say to their superiors, for lack of better words, a lot of times who weren't even the same as them, despite the fact that they were the same skin color, they would go back and say, okay, I've gotten them to agree to this and that and the other, and they're not going to do this and that as long as you guys do this and that and the other. It's like, oh, okay, well, thank you for that, and we're not going to do that. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. I gave them my word. I promised them. And it's like, well, thank you, and that's going to get us what we need, and now y'all going to kill them all. It's like, wait a minute, hold up. Y'all making me look like an ass. It's like, well, you have no authority, but you gave me permission. Yeah, well, we're taking it back. That's one of the reasons why they lost so many white-skinned-looking people that defected away from them because they weren't the same. A lot of them ran off, and that's how we got messed up. A lot of them ran off to hang out with us. Those that were, for lack of a better word, had a code of ethics, honorable, trustworthy, and the like. But those that weren't were always on their tails and would always come in their midst. It's almost like, I'm going to put this into the Bible. It's almost like that part of the Bible where so-called Jesus is supposed to be standing there talking to all of these people, and so-called Satan is supposed to be in the midst. You know, sitting there like you one of them. You know, sitting there where he could get in, it's like, why are you here? You know, oh, I'm just one of the people, and Jesus is like, get real. I know who you are and what you are. But a lot of people can't tell who's who and what's what, especially now, because everybody's on some, we're anti-women, we're anti-niggers, we're anti-Jews, we're anti-Catholics, we're anti-Christians, we're anti-Muslim, we're anti-gays, we're anti-people that work, we're anti-people that don't work. There's always some kind of bullcrap going on. Or we're anti-thugs, we're anti-drug dealers, you know, we're anti-gang lords. It's always something. And people keep getting duped all the time. People keep falling for the same old shit over and over again. It's always the same game over and over again. People have not learned yet how to distinguish those that are a total mess, most of whom are not people of any kind, from those that are not, and the bullshit that they're on. People cannot yet tell the difference. That's why they need to get more spiritual, so they can start identifying these people, because some of them look just like you.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got those. A
lot of them look just like us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I want to go to the phone lines because we run out of time.
We need to call them.
And but I did want to add that what you were talking about with this so-called devil meeting with the people or whatever. That's in Job. If y'all want to look it up, those of you who still read the Bible, it's in Job. I think it's Job chapter 1 or chapter 2, one of those chapters. But anyway, 323 area code 323. Oh, you know I know. You are on Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. What is your first name, please, and where are you calling from? Area code 323. Okay. Going once, going twice. 323. Are you there?
This is Serge.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Hi,
yeah,
I hear you.
I hear you now.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Great. Good. What with you?
Oh no, this is my first time. This is my first time joining in. My cousin had texted me, and I'm like the topics and everything. I mean, y'all talking about some real talk. So he texted me like, just listen to 5 minutes of it. I couldn't even hang up. I'm like, well, shoot, y'all talking about some real stuff. And the messed up thing about it, like what y'all talking about, they getting ready because the movement, they already trying to do this movement, y'all. And I already hear that y'all already know about the movement. And, I love hearing people that know what's up, that, people with eyes that are open, you can't talk to idiots, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that's in denial about what's going on in this world. And like y'all say, like, they really trying to get us desensitized to a lot of stuff that's going on. But the action, the movement is they're really trying to get it going. And they are targeting our kids, you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to teach us the real deal in the history classes and all that stuff, because they know once we find out the real history about America and history in itself, America by itself history is all founded by what's in that Christopher Columbus, and he's a lie fake. He's a barbarian himself, you know what I'm saying? If we knew that he ran from where he come from, Europe or some crap. If we knew back then what we knew, I'm an 80s baby, but me knowing outside, after I already got out of school, me knowing the truth, like, damn, like, fuck, cuz, like, that nigga ain't shit. Excuse my language, but he came here, he left, he was on the run. He was on the run from already, raping and doing all this other crap. He was just a monster, and he came over here and started doing it. You know what I'm saying? But if we knew just simple stuff like that, they're not going to teach, they're not going to teach our young ones about this in school because they knew the truth about everything. Then it'll be a wrap. All their plans will be foiled from the gate. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're going to try to take, they're going to try to take the kids. It's brainwashing. They're going to try to make it seem like everything's okay. They're going to make it try to seem like, oh, this stuff is just normal for people to do. Hell no, it ain't. It's against nature. You know what I'm saying? We weren't created. No matter what belief system, religion, when it comes down to titles separate stuff. We all one under the sun anyway. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not.
No. Yeah, I separate myself from the monster, though. I separate myself from that. There's always going to be, a dark and a light. But as those people of the light, we need to band together. There's some people that's, trying to act like they don't see it, but they do see it. You know what I'm saying? And it frustrates the shit out of me that, like, okay, you know what's going on, but you want to turn, the other way. I said we band together, you know what I'm saying? Their plan's going to be full. Their plans always foil generation after generation, but right now it just seems like they just press it harder. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing out in the streets and what's going on in the schools and all that stuff. It's just sickening to me, though. But I like what y'all got going on because this is my first time, joining in. I'm like, dang, like, I like, what y'all doing because you don't find too many people who talking like this and open. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you do bring stuff up, people want to shy and be like, oh no, that's a conspiracy theory, yada yada yada. Like, no, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find. It's hard to find people that have their eyes open, like, okay, have an actual conversation about it. Other people either want to shy away from it, act like they don't know what's going on, and some people too scared to talk about it. Some people really just going to fight you down like, oh, man, you tripping, you just paranoid. Hell no, I ain't paranoid. I see this shit every day. Like, my older G homie, his nephew got killed by the cops not too long ago. And it's messed up because he a good kid. He didn't do nothing. He ain't had no gun, but they say they find it in the courts right now. When these cops do dirty stuff, it's like they don't even get fired from a job. They don't even get fired. Like, for real? Like are you serious? I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I did time for a gun charge. I ain't harm nobody, but where I'm from, shoot, we gotta stay protected, But I did time for just having one. These people out here, just because they got a badge, they shooting people point blank rank, unloading full clips, and they don't even get fired? What type of shit is that?
Well, let me say this.
That's execution.
Let me say this. I was talking to one of my brothers in Oklahoma not too long ago, and he was like, Yaffa, as long as I don't walk the streets of Los Angeles, I have never seen so many judges and cops walking around with house arrest anklets on their ass. He said there are so many judges and police in Oklahoma under house arrest. He said, unfortunately, they're still allowed to be judges some kind of way, but he ain't never seen no mess like this, and a lot of it has to do with drug trafficking and things of this nature. Also be aware that there's a bunch of young so-called white folks, and some older ones, that are getting together across the planet, moving against all these governments and all these leaders and the Vatican and the Pope and the Queen, and they want all these fools locked up, and they want them fined. They ain't playing. They're an organization called the One People's Public Trust. And you can find them by typing in your www bar OPPT, a minus sign or hyphen, IN.com, OPPT hyphen IN.com, which will bring up I-UV.com. They're moving against them in practically every major so-called European city on the planet. There's a group, they just, I guess they woke up and said, what the hell? All you people running around here, corporations claim that you're governments and you stole everybody's money, land, wealth, housing, they're just going after them. And I think it started in Canada. Kevin Arnett and those guys might have had something to do with it. But they're just not, they're sick of this nonsense. They're like, you guys have been destroying children of all ethnicities and people of all ethnicities basically since you started running. They went after the damn Roman Catholic Church and the Pope and the Queen and them first. They after Obama. They ain't playing. They after all these people. So, you know, I'm saying that to say we might find a day where somebody or something can be done about these goddamn law enforcement agents. And don't forget about the ones in Carolina where the brothers, the cops have been warned. I think it was North Carolina. They have been warned. There are people that have figured out how to sue you guys in your individual, personal, private capacity, and you aren't one of ours. You don't work for the government up here. You know, you're not state employees. You're just something else. So we highly recommend that to protect yourself, that you put your stuff in someone else's name or put it in trust, because people have figured out how to sue you personally, and they are not playing with y'all. They are coming after you. They've been warning their law enforcement agents. Right. Just so you know, something is happening. I don't know what, but something's happening.
Those days are the ones I actually ride with, because they actually banging for something. I'm like, come on now, I don't give a fuck what they look like. They banging on the beats, I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all the bullshit. I mean,
well, see, all that was cool when they were just shooting our people and tasering our people and manhandling our people. And then they looked up one day, they forgot about the slippery slope. That shit slid down the hill and hit them in their doorstep. So now you got all over YouTube so-called cops, so-called white cops, you know, manhandling old so-called white women and tasering, you know, old elderly so-called white folks. And it's like, wait a minute, we thought y'all was just messing with them niggas. Now y'all messing with us. Hold up. So now they're starting to see what our people have been telling them all along. Niggas been trying to tell these crazy people this stuff for the longest. And again, they playing the race card, so they can hear nothing we have to say, because all they can see is black and white. Well, we don't give a damn. We white, you know, and it's okay. As long as they kill you niggas, it's cool with us. Now they're going now. It's the problem. Now, if we're the black people, they should be marching with us. No, we shouldn't. You weren't listening when we were talking.
And that's how they do us, though. As blacks, that's how they do us. Like out here, I don't know if everybody, you know, who all from where on the call, but over here in California, L.A., that's how they was doing, like when they brought the drugs over and all that stuff. It was cool when it was in our neighborhood. We got liquor stores after liquor stores, gun shops after gun shops. But when they kids start coming buying the drugs and all that stuff, oh yeah, that's when they created the task force. That's when they start cracking down on stuff. But when it was just us messing each other up, oh, they didn't care. They weren't tripping off none of that until it started coming to their neighborhoods and stuff. It's always like that.
It was in their neighborhoods before it was in ours. Remember, they introduced us to that stuff.
He put it in our neighborhood.
They put it in our neighborhood. They put it in our neighborhood. But once they really start finding out that their kids was getting messed up off the stuff, and you know, man, they said no, we ain't having that. We ain't having that.
Problem there. King, if you want to hold on and stay at the round table, you are more than welcome. I'm going to go ahead and bring in somebody else on the round table so we don't run out of time here. 646-716-7572 is the number. If you want to join the round table, we just kicking back, we chilling. Some of us is chilling, some of us drinking Moscato. We just talking. So y'all want to just talk to me? Y'all can just talk too. Just come on in. Come on in the party. 646-716-7572. I'm going to bring in area code 229. Area code 229. Where are you calling from, please, and your first name?
Hey y'all, this RW. I'm in Georgia. Hey y'all.
Hey, what's up, RW? Marvelous, pretty. What's up? That's one of my play sons there. You know, I got a couple of play sons. Him, one in Boston. I got a couple of them.
Well, if you heard play sons, I'm your play auntie. So peace.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? Just to add on to some of the stuff that y'all saying, I mean, Yafa's got a host of information out there. She's got it on, some people put the stuff up on YouTube. Yafa's got stuff up herself that you can get the DVDs from her. She's on the radio now. I mean, you can ask her for it. You go back to some of the stuff that some people put on YouTube that Taj got, and they address some of the stuff that y'all are saying about how they treat so-called black people. First and foremost, you got to go back to some of the videos and find out what this word black really means. Okay, Yafa, she's got all this stuff, all this information about this stuff. This stuff is not going to go away until we start doing something about it. Okay, going into the courtrooms, when these cops come and pull us over, like I told Yafa, I have not seen so many checkpoints here in Georgia. I've been in here all my life, 38 years. I haven't seen so many checkpoints here since I've been so-called driving or whatever, not knowing what the word driver means, not realizing that these people can actually take your rights away from you because of what you call yourself, black, African-American, which doesn't exist. And in some cases, it doesn't really apply to you. And this is why they're able to do the stuff they are able to do to you. And a lot of people are getting emotional about it. And I see what Taj is saying sometimes, Taj Tariq Bey too, says a lot of stuff about how people get emotional about these things. And it's not really, it's nothing to get emotional about. Just educate yourself over, on the stuff that's going on. It's too much information out there. Yafa's out there. A host of other people out there. Taj is out there. It's too much information. Too much. And there's too many people out there, little over me. I ain't nobody. Some of the stuff I use that Yafa helped me with. Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is I'm nobody to be known, but Yafa's out there, other people out there. If I'm doing it, some of the stuff that she has taught me, I'm using it in the courtrooms, and the judges are looking at me like, ha, 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 they're smiling at me. Other dudes coming in the courtroom, they slam them left and right. I use a couple of words that I got from Yafa and a couple of dictionary words, and bam, I get this whole reaction about, come back in 3 weeks, come back in another 3 weeks. I mean, they never tell our folks that. We come in the courtroom, they start slamming us left and right. 3 years in jail, a couple of years probation, that kind of stuff. So there must be some kind of validity to this. So my point is, we got everything we need right now to start doing what we need to do, to start putting these Europeans in their places, and the other Europeans that are trying to help us do a little bit of something, because all of them, like Yafa is saying, all of them ain't stupid. And they see some of the stuff that's going on. If it's happening to them and it's happening to us, something's wrong. Okay? Just point blank, simple.
Now don't go nowhere. Okay. I was gonna bring one of my stories about RW to the table. Now that I didn't know he's gonna call in. He's on the phone. I can bring it up. And for people that want to know, I have a website, yafabey.com, Y-A, F like Frank, F like Frank, A, B like boy, EY.com, yafabey.com. But RW, I was going to bring two of his things to the table. One, he was at a motorized checkpoint. Now, keep in mind, they just, you another one of those. They looked at his stuff and was like, you one of those. I didn't want to hear what you said, man. Just get the hell out of my face. Next. But he's sitting at a checkpoint, and they're going to be, checking these motorists that come along. All of a sudden, he sees them on a roadside, motorized, driver's license, whatever the hell, DUI, whatever they want to call it, in the middle of the day, checkpoint. A brother walks down the street on the sidewalk, and they stop this nigga on foot at the checkpoint, asking his brother for a driver's license, walking down the street on foot at the damn checkpoint. Y'all need to be aware of that. That's one story. And two, RW went and changed his name and his nationality in court officially on paper. He went just today, or was it yesterday, him and his mom, to get his birth certificate. Now, all he did is apply for a new, not a new Social Security number, same number, new card in his corrected name, which everybody doesn't have to do this. This is something he did. But then he went to get a so-called copy of his mom and them's birth certificate, and they got one of his, and he's thinking it's going to have the old information on it, even though he never went and applied for a new one. When they gave him his so-called birth record, it showed that they had gone in of their own volition and modified the name on his birth certificate without him even being aware of the fact that it had been done.
Yeah, completely. No contract. I have. No. Well, as far as like I was saying, the stuff that Todd is talking about, the stuff anybody talking on this stuff is kind of a lot to do with a lot of these words. You go back and get some of the stuff y'all was talking about these words and these dictionaries. Pick up a couple of dictionaries instead of putting some food in your mouth or doing whatever the hell it is that you do, and put something in your brain so you can defend yourself when these crazy people come to pull you over and start talking noise to you. And this lady is like, oh, you got to have a driver's license. And even though I don't have a contract with these people, they're forcing me to go and get a contract so I can get something that actually so-called belongs to me, an entity that they created off of my mother's act. But it's wild. It's wild stuff. I really don't know what to say about it.
Well, let me just say this. He's been stopped let me hold that thought. He's been stopped on 4 different occasions by law enforcement. The first time was a real problem. I guess he went in court and handled it relatively well, so well that they had to bring a law enforcement officer who obviously, after messing with RW, resigned or something, transferred to a completely different law enforcement agency in a whole other state. They had to go get that dude and fly him back in from another state to a different state on a traffic ticket just to deal with this dude right here. Now, that's one. The second time it was like, okay, we're going to impound your car if somebody don't come get it. The last 2 times they just let the brother go. It's like, we don't even want to deal with you. Next.
Yeah, and it's the truth. It's a couple of words that I found out and a couple of dictionary definitions I put together and voila, so to speak. But it's not voila. It's the knowledge is in the words. And these messed up words that we use, and certain words that you say in everyday, and me and y'all will talk about this all the time, certain words that you say every day does not mean the same thing when you go into a courtroom. And be mindful what it is that you're saying to people, especially when you're in the courtroom. And Yafa also talks about this YouTube channel, Flex Your Rights.
Yeah, man. All youngsters must get very familiar with that YouTube network.
Exactly.
That YouTube, and especially the males. Go ahead.
Especially that brother that was walking down the street, and they asked him for his driver's license. Okay, first and foremost, a person walking down the street does not define a driver.
Right.
That's first and foremost. But the brother, he just don't want no problems. This is my problem that I tell Yafa every day, and she's like, oh, okay, RW, everything's cool. She's listening to me because my problem is we go along to get along with these people, and they still try to stab us in the back. We go to get their birth certificates, we get their driver's license, we comply with what they're saying, and they still want to shoot us in the back. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, screw it. I'm going to do what I do. So, that means going against a couple of judges. Hey, half of them, Prince Hall, Freemasons, Scottish Rite, York Rite, which I have no respect for. None. Especially when I found out who these people really are, no respect for. I don't care if one is listening, I could care less. No respect whatsoever for what you do. The stuff that you hold back from people, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna get off the phone now because I talk all the time with y'all about this, and I'll go on and on. But I just want to interject that in.
They even confiscated his gun once, and he was able to go get them to give that back. Like, y'all gonna give my gun back to me.
Right. That's right. And the gun had nothing to do with the fact I'm traveling in my conveyance. That's my own personal. This is America, okay? The last time I looked, it was America, and you are afforded certain rights. Unless you call yourself a certain person, that goes back to what I was just saying about you got to know who you are, and some of the stuff Todd is saying, some of the stuff is actually legitimate what the government is doing to people and what the judges are doing to people and what the officers are doing. Emotionally, no, it doesn't feel good, but technically because of what you call yourself and because of the category you call yourself in, they're able to do these things to you because you don't know certain things, you don't know certain words. But the reality
this ain't America. This ain't America because the host can't even get in and say nothing. I know this ain't America.
Were you trying to? Sorry.
How y'all doing?
I know you had something to say. Hi.
Yeah, welcome to your show. Hold on. You said hold that thought. And I just wanted to say, you can't tell no sister who been drinking Moscato to hold no damn thought. Now I forgot what's going on.
Welcome to your show, my bad.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
King, we thank you for calling in. But like you said, you and Dr. Y'all talk all the time. Y'all have us here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we thank you for calling in. Oh, I know one thing I did want to say, though. I hear you about the words, and we actually, we have Dr. Yaffa on. Depends on what show we're on. But she pulled out the dictionary, I think Sunday, she pulled out the dictionary, and she read us the definition of black.
Yaffa says anytime that you're talking to her, you need to have the dictionary there.
King, damn. Hold on for a second. Damn. Hold on for a second. I'm just trying to tell my people that you can go on, if you still kind of leery about the definitions and all that stuff, you can go on Sunday and listen to the show when she was on there, when she was on the hot seat for 3 hours, which wasn't really all that hot. But she was there, and she pulled out all, her books, and she read, and she gave you the definitions. She told you where to find these definitions, what the name of the books and the years and all of that. So if you need to do some studying, check out the show, write the information down, and then go at it. Now, King, what you got to say? I just wanted to get that out, because y'all not doing me right now.
The word, a little bit, the stuff she says to me, it don't save a brother's life, so,
Right on. Right. I hear you, though, because I be paying attention. I go search out what the hell she tell me, because I don't be believing nobody. I go search my shit. And if I can't find it, I just ask for answers. They'll clear it up for me. So, but thank you so much, King, for calling in. You are more than welcome to stay on the round table. I'm going to move on to the next caller and bring that person in before we go. Okay, so we're at 646-716-7572. I don't remember everybody that's on the phone. I know it's myself, Empress T. We got KJ. We got Dr. Yaffa. We got Will Justice. I got 2 other brothers that just joined me, and y'all forgive me if I forgot your names, and I'm sorry, because don't blame it on me. Blame it on the wine. But anyway, let me go ahead. I think 678 is trying to get in. Am I correct, 678? You trying to get into the phone call?
Yes. Hello. How you doing?
Oh, peace. Peace. You trying to get on the round table right now?
Yeah, sure. I just want to make a quick comment right quick. I'll be brief. I definitely agree with everything that you ladies and gentlemen have been saying all along. The words that we use are very important in the courtroom. I was recently incarcerated with one of the sons of Dr. Malachi York. And I learned a lot about him while we were both incarcerated in Walton County Jail in Georgia, as a matter of fact. And the amount of racial corruption that's going on down there is just crazy. I'm not surprised because the last lynching that took place in Walton County, Monroe, Georgia. Perhaps the brother from Atlanta, or wherever he said that he was from in Georgia, maybe he is familiar with Walton County. But anyways, you'd be
I know about it.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard of Judge Brownlow or Judge Madison or any of these cats out there corrupt. They running drug rings. Everybody knows about it. Angel Food Ministries, if anyone's ever heard of that in Georgia. It's also a worldwide ministry or so-called ministry. But really is used by all the lawyers and the sheriffs and the judges in Walton County to as a front to ship drugs around the world, and it's also a prostitution ring. But they get away with all of that. All these country white judges and with their little Confederate flags driving around and locking people up for anything and everything. And it goes back to what you guys were talking about earlier, what Dr. Yesterday was saying. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but a repeat of slavery, really. They want to destroy the family, and they're doing a damn good job of it.
Yeah, they are.
So,
yes, they are.
We have to be careful about how we protect our family and the words we use to identify ourselves, and not just to identify ourselves, but to identify what we belong to and things of that sort. We got to be conscious of becoming sovereign citizens and whatnot, and taking advantage of our rights. You feel me?
Right.
So these white people, not all of them, but some of the main ones in charge, they want to. They've been doing for thousands and thousands of years since they came out of the cocktails, and that's raping and murder.
Hell, I say all of them. I say all they asses, all of them. I don't give a damn. All of them. May Ra rest upon their foreheads. I don't give a damn. All of them.
Yeah, I don't blame
anyway.
you. Yeah, I do
There's
not
no thing
blame
as a
you.
sovereign citizen either, just so you know.
Yeah.
You can't be a sovereign and a
Yeah,
citizen. No sovereign is a citizen, and no citizen is a sovereign. So a sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. Those two words can't possibly go together.
Absolutely.
That's like trying to be a king and a subject at the same time. It just don't make sense.
Damn.
That's just some word they made up to try to get jurisdiction over you. It does not exist. It's not possible for it to exist. If you look up the definitions of a sovereign and citizen, they like y'all were saying.
Now we talking.
Antithetical.
Now we talking because this is a thing that I've been trying to organize, and I don't give a fuck. Say what you will about
Who's
it.
talking? Who's talking?
Road justice.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
Organized as in order to show people what the sovereign really is about, and it's like how to get it organized, and it's like I'm gonna say it straight out, like we gotta work the system, do what needs to be done in order to get people more empowered to what they are really entitled to, because a lot of the times, like, they're being jerked through paperwork and you don't even know it, and it's like you can sit there and play their own game against them to get independent, because that it's like I have a brother that I had to go to court with, and he challenged their jurisdiction right there in the court. I was the one holding the cell phone recording it. All right, so we need people with more of this knowledge out there, and the fact is we're not organizing in order to do this, and people are like, oh, how are we going to organize? Make it your career to do it. You know what I'm saying? Form a nonprofit, which is, you know what I'm saying, you just create another entity in order to, you know what I'm saying, use their monetary system, which is fake anyway, use their monetary system to get the resources that you need, and then once you have the resources in your possession, they cannot be taken from you. That's it. As a sovereign, they cannot take anything from a sovereign. You get it on paperwork, and then you can literally sell it from one person to another on the paperwork, and then it's all done over with. The legal paperwork is in, and there's nothing they can do about it. All right? So, I mean, nothing legal. They can only move illegally, and this is what they've been doing. But the thing is, we don't know our rights. We don't even know what sovereignty is. Ask somebody what sovereignty is, and they're going to be like, I don't know what that means. What's that supposed to mean? And it's like we have to...
They're going to say God in the sky. They're going to say the Heavenly Father. That's what they're going to say.
Exactly. Like, I don't even put my business out there. Like, the people who know me, they know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? They know what I'm dealing with. I'm a low dude. I don't put everything out there that I know. It's like I speak in certain terms in order to capture the ear of those who are at a certain level. You know, some people are not on a certain level, whereas they can understand the higher talk. So it's like I'm gonna bring them in, school them. You know what I mean? That's the way I have to have it. And it's like I'm talking about getting things together, whereas we can get the funding in order to, as a nonprofit 501c3, and make that money circulate. You know what I'm saying? Keep it within the community, and make your spending your money is going to come back to you within the tax code. All right? So you're going to actually spend your money into your own community, and then get that same money that you already spent back because you did the paperwork correctly, and there's nothing illegal about it. They've been doing it for years. All right? You're not jerking anybody. You're not playing anybody. You're not hurting nobody. All you're doing is you're bringing awareness to people who didn't know what their rights were. And really, though, I don't have to go by their laws because their laws don't apply to me. I was here before they wrote that. So, I mean, I can use their laws in order to gain my freedom. So it is what it is, and it's like I'm trying to drop that in people. It's like we need to organize this just a little bit better because, I mean, like you can sit a couple of brothers and sisters down and have them watch the YouTube videos and stuff like that. But it's like, how we going to get this into action? Like, or where are we going to stand at? How are we going to get the land in order to actually do this together?
We already have the land.
We already got the land? Shoot.
The land is still ours. The United States, so that's the whole Empress of Washington, or the Turner, Henry Turner and heirs, the Turner heirs versus the United States. The United States, well, said, y'all own the land. We never said the land is ours. The land's not ours. They moved their people the hell out the way, but the land is still yours.
Let me say this before we get to before I take another phone call because I don't want to run out of time. We still got people holding on, but let me say this because I feel this in my spirit. I need to say this, okay? I think that because we always talk about plans and what we need to do, and which is good for solutions. But I felt this when you were talking about, you kept saying we need to organize, and I agree. I agree that we do need to organize, but I was thinking in my mind as you were saying that I was looking at this movie, and I mean in my head right now, I'm looking at this movie, and I'm looking at how before the zombie becomes a zombie, first that person is killed. Okay, that person dies. And then after that person dies, then that person rises again in this zombie state. Doesn't know what's really going on. All it does is just move around and ready to eat somebody. Ain't thinking about nothing else. Just want to eat. Just want to survive. Not thinking about anything else. And then that zombie has to be killed again. There are some movies where the zombie, if you give them some kind of elixir, some kind of potion, they can return back to AKA normal. So I said all that to say this. We have been for so long in this sleep, comatose type state. Okay? Now we are waking up out of this comatose type state, but now we're walking around like zombies. So how are you going to get zombies to come together to organize if they are still, they have to have this potion to bring them to this next level, to get them out of that mindset is what I'm trying to say. Because now we're just walking around. Everybody, people are reading, people are learning a couple words, they learn about the Ankh and the Eye of Horus and all this, but they haven't taken that potion that's going to wake them up to the point to where they say, hell no. Something is wrong. We got to do something about this. Until we get to that point, and I'm talking about more than just 2 or 3 people. I'm talking about more than just 2 or 3 people. I'm talking about if we're going to organize, we cannot organize. I personally don't want to organize with a person who is still in that zombie comatose state. I don't, personally. And so until we all start getting past that zombie state, trying to get organized, I don't see that in the future, trying to get organized, because people are still walking around. They're walking, you see them coming, they go to work, they go to school, they operate, they eat, they talk, but in their mindset, they're still in this zombie comatose state, is what I'm trying to say. So I think that is the first step before we can get to talking about unifying. I'm not going to unify with people who ain't awake, or at least halfway awake, because then you're going to destroy.
Right. Add to that. Malcolm even said that. You cannot, organize a sleeping people.
Right.
Yeah, but that goes back to what Omar was telling us, too, about we being comatose or whatever. But one person alone, I really don't think can do it. But as a group, we could. But like y'all are saying, how can that be possible? I guess it's on an individual basis. You must, do it on your own. I do as much as I possibly can, and whatever I can accomplish, I'll go and reach out and get some help from somebody. Other than that, if the aunts don't drop it in the brother's lap or whatever, I'm screwed. That's the best I can say about that.
Can I add my opinion to? I agree to what you guys are saying, but another thing is there is some people that still walking around like zombies, but from my experience to talk to certain people and all that, there's people that are awake, but just so fearful that they're trying to act like they're zombies, should I say. They're so afraid to do. There's some people that do know what's going on, but they're so afraid to do anything about it because we just been beaten over the head so much that, if we do something, we're going to get shot, killed, assassinated, whatever. When Obama was getting elected and stuff, the main thing I was hearing about my brother is like, he about to get assassinated, fuck it. You know, that's the mentality. It's like, damn, like, for real, like, there's some people that I know personally, I'm just saying from my own personal experience, there's people walking around that know what's cracking, that know what's up, but they're like, man, it doesn't matter if we get together. I mean, shoot, I ain't finna make that move, shoot, we just going to get killed about it anyway. Like, it got beaten over, it's like we just got beaten over the head. Like, if we do something, they just going to just assassinate us. But I really believe that there's a lot of us that do know what's up. It's just the fear factor then got so high over the years that some people are just going to try to look the other way until it gets so bad. Until it gets so yeah.
That's
until
still
it gets
a certain
so
level.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. King. It goes in different levels because even if a person, let's say a person is awake, it's still a certain level because when you get to a certain level, then that fear factor goes away. I mean,
exactly.
We go on this call and put ourselves on the line all the time talking about this stuff. We don't censor anything that we're saying. We're putting ourselves out there on the line, even bringing this kind of information. But you have to get to a point where you say, I don't give a damn. This has to be done. If somebody has to do it, that's what I'm saying. You may be, waking up out your state, but it's a certain level that you get to. Those are the kind of people that we need who are at that level who say, I don't give a damn. You ain't going to be totally retarded either. I mean, you're going to have wisdom about what you do. You're going to have wisdom about how you move about. I mean, we can't get on the phone and tell them our whole game plan. You know what I'm saying? You got to have wisdom about how you move about. But I don't want to be planning with just anybody who is not, can move like that. Because if you become fearful, then the enemy can come any day now and threaten you, and now you don't back down, and you don't put all of us in jeopardy.
Exactly. That's true, though. That's real talk. And I believe, how I see things for some of my people, how I see in my people, with some of them at least, like I said, speak on my own personal experience and seeing, the people that I talk to and stuff, it's like, okay, I see the fear in them, but because they know something, but they just try to, bypass, the topic and stuff, but they know a lot. But I see, like, it frustrates me because, like, dang, like, is it going to take to the point that it's almost too late for people to be like, oh, you know what, fuck this, we're going to do something about it. Because sometimes people would leap into action when it's over, like when the war's already almost over, like, what the fuck? Like, you should, like, come on now, we're trying to get together and really do something about it. Like, I see people like that in the streets. Like, you really going to try to have heart when it's almost too late, for real? Like, that's frustrating to me, but I don't know, I just want to throw it out there because, some people, are really awake, and they just, like, just in the corner with it. And that frustrates the shit out of me. Excuse my language. I don't mean to be cussing, young women's ear, and all that stuff, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I'll tell you what I want to do, though. I want to go grab this phone call in. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. I want to go and grab this phone call in at 412. That way we won't leave out anybody. And if you are on the phone, I see another call waiting, too. Area code 412, where you calling from, your first name, please?
Pittsburgh, Manny.
Oh, peace,
Pittsburgh,
King.
Manny.
Welcome to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. What's up?
Who like, I'm fucked all this mess. My question is right here. I hear y'all sitting here, I heard y'all was talking about for the land this and the land that, but if the people knew the knowledge, then why would we have to buy the land? The land is already ours. Why would we have to go through all this unnecessarily steps? For what reason?
Because
I
we're
can't answer that.
because we're under military occupation. That's one. A lot of people don't know who we are. They believe a lot of people that look like us swear to God we from Africa. A lot of people that look like them swear to God we from Africa. A lot of people on the reservations pretending to be us swear to God we from Africa. And a lot of people, if you just go and start taking land, which can be done if it's done right, a lot of people that if you just start going to take the land, you're going to have people that look like them and people that look like you on some whole other shit. Oh, they're getting something free. What about me? Anytime somebody starts trying to, as they call, adverse possess or something to this effect, people act like they don't know what it is. So the whole of the European colonial system was about an adverse possession. Just came and stole and took, forcibly took, adversely took the land and sat on it and possessed it and squatted on it and ran across into some whole other stuff. So if you go try and adverse possess even one house back, then you're going to have a whole bunch of them getting together, talking crazy on the news, and a whole bunch of people that look like you calling you crazy because you're trying to do this. You just got to take back what's yours.
Yeah, I already got that treatment right there. Right now, everybody that look like me already done deemed me. I'm crazy off the rip. So it's like I done passed that crazy talk. I'm to the point. I'm to the point like this right here. For those that know, like that's in the know, okay, though, we already understand the Moabite, the Canaanites, and the Hittite, all of them came over here. We already know that they're the proper owners of America. Now, this has already been documented up under the peace treaty of 1787, and it already been documented up under the bullshit ass documents that the Europeans have. So if all this been documented, then why is it so hard to go about getting what's really ours?
Military occupation, and everybody playing the race card all the time. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I got you. Say everybody playing it. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Damn, so we just damn if we don't, damn if we do, huh?
Yeah, you got a real interesting point. You really do. But in a case like this, I wish more people would see it like you're seeing it, because like I tell y'all all the time, it needs to be a little bit more. Well, then again, in some cases, maybe quality is better than quantity, but
absolutely
still, yes. And when you do start making these comments, what you're saying now, you can go up to a judge. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but you can make it clear to, right, you can make it clear to him or officer, look, why am I required to have a driver's license when your books, your Black's Law Dictionary, your Bouvier's define a driver as this? Why am I standing in front of a judge when you classify, you all are over a U.S. citizen? Right, and a U.S. citizen does not apply to, there's documents out there, like you're saying, that, if you start spreading some of this and start speaking some of it out loud, perhaps some of this stuff will change. Because, like I said, you make a relevant point. But, a couple of judges might get to hearing you, a couple of police officers might get to hearing you. Maybe that'll help it out. Maybe they'll back off.
Well, I mean, right now,
hold that thought, King, please. Let me say this. This is Empress T talking, by the way. Hold that thought. Let me say this. We're going to be off the air in about 4 minutes. We're still continue the conversation. So those of you who are in the chat room, you need to call in 646-716-7572, because a lot of times Blog Talk won't let you hear the show after we go off the air. So you got about 3 minutes. And if you want to hear what they're talking about, you got to call in right now, 646-716-7572. And those of you who will not call in, I want to say peace and love to you, and thank you for tuning in to Wake the Hell Up Wednesday. We're here every week, 8 o'clock p.m. for the open roundtable. Okay, go ahead, King. Finish what you were saying.
All right. And I noticed another thing what he mentioned for is fear. That I think that's what's killing a lot of us right now anyway, no matter, because I started paying attention. You had Malcolm coming through telling people about nationality. You had all these other folks coming through telling us about nationality. And it seemed like the folks that came up and Malcolm them age and a little further up, they didn't care about that knowledge. They probably heard what this man was saying, but they didn't care about what it would take to actually stand up on it. So now you got folks like me and y'all trying to tell the people this stuff, and they ain't trying to hear this. They don't even believe it.
What you're going to have to do at this point, not to cut you off, what you're going to have to do at this point is, as R.W. said, it's all about the quality, not the quantity. Those people that have quality information and quality level of clarity and understanding of what's going on, it's not that there are not enough quality thinkers out there. There are not enough quality thinkers out there that know other quality thinkers. You know, you may think you're the only one in your area on this page. There's a bunch of people in the area on the page, but you don't know them and you don't know how to find them so that you guys can come together and start working to get things in Harambe. Let's come together. Let's work together. That's the problem.
And like I said, you know, you come to a couple of these judges, you start asking the same questions you asking us. Ask them. Come up to them and say, look, why am I calling myself this, or why am I being put under this particular label when that does not apply to me? Your own laws even say it. You can just hit them upside the head with their own stuff.
See, my thing is this, right? Like right now, I mean, I know that, but see, I don't get into the type of conflict that allow me to go in front of them, so I help other folks out behind closed doors how to conduct themselves in front of them, even within their jurisdiction as quote-unquote corporate America like to say. Because I already understand the aspect of the UCC codes is nothing but acting in commerce. None of that don't have nothing to do with us. And they let that be known plain. But they study locking people up over UCC codes. Like, I don't get that. But, you know.
Yeah, that's that maritime law stuff. I can't help you on. I dipped into it. I know what you're talking about, but like you're saying, you know, I don't understand. I have a profound understanding of it, but I don't know. I really don't know. But I think you're going in the right direction with this, though. But to ask questions and continue to ask questions, the people that's going in front of the judges or the cops or whatever, just keep saying it out loud, because eventually something's got to give. Because some of this stuff is like the guy was saying a couple of minutes ago about what's going on here in Georgia. And this outright defiance what's going on here. And I plan personally to put a stop to it, me, myself. I mean, if somebody is along with me or they're not. Because I will not stand for this, and I will not be classified as some type of Negro, black, color, whatever. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing I would like to add about, knowing your words and all that stuff in the court, that do play a lot, because I was just thinking back when I was in the courtrooms and all that stuff. It's like they really play word games with us. And, like, I done seen a lot of cases, and even my own case, they'll throw out words, and all they'll say at the end is, you understand, and you're just dumbfounded, so you're just going to say, and you don't even know what you just got yourself into. Like, one thing that really pissed me off is, like, they got this, I don't know how it is in all y'all states and all that, but I believe it's the same, but they got you got three options: you're guilty, not guilty, or no contest. And when I ask, sometimes even when you ask questions, they get upset and threaten to lock you up without you even having, being able to talk for yourself. So my public defender told me to be quiet. And I was just asking, I was like, what you mean no contest? And he explained to me, I said, that's basically telling me to tell you that I'm guilty, but not just saying I'm guilty. Well, what the fuck is no contest then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got up here, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's really important to know these terminology, these words and all that, because they're really playing us. They were playing the heck out of way over our heads, and after they say all these words and all that stuff, they're like, oh, you understand? And you just looking around like, yeah. And you don't even know what you just agreed to.
Absolutely. Yeah. This stuff that we go through in a courtroom, it came from that's that Brit. If you look up the word court in the law dictionary, it means it's like a game going back and forth. What you play court? What do you play on the court? You play tennis on the court, play basketball on the court. It's a game. one lawyer stands back up, hits the ball on the other side, and then that other lawyer stands up and he hits the other, and they're playing games with your life. This is the stuff the Europeans were running away from to get over here to America. Now it's over here now. So that's just absurd to me. This is the same stuff these Europeans are standing up and saying, oh, you got to throw that black boy in jail, when this crap is what your ancestors was running from over in England to get over here to our black ass. Excuse my French.
So, hey, I got another question, and I know this right here might be going kind of off the topic, but it's dealing with the Moorish Empire. When the Europeans, like I know y'all know about the fall of the Roman Empire. When they was about to die out and the Moors came over there and gave them the basic knowledge of survival, how come, like the Moorish Empire that's already over here, how come we don't hear no noise from them? Because in all actuality, up under their treaty or their agreement that they had with the United States, we are not intended up under none of their codes, acts, or none of their constitution, and none of that. So how come
almost 90% of these people over here that's Americans don't know anything about this? They don't know nothing about what's going on. They don't know anything about America, or some people, just the majority of us, been separated from who we are.
The schools don't teach us American history. They may say American history on the books, but it's all lies, and they just sugarcoat a lot of stuff. They don't teach us none of that until after we're already done with school. We got to look it up ourselves. That's how I learned a lot of this stuff.
I'm looking at this situation. My mama's coming to me, telling me something about the Native American Indians were done really, really wrong over here in America. I come to find out that a whole bunch of stuff about my family, my background, my bloodline from Yaffa, and a couple of people in my own family is like, dude, you are from America. That's you they're talking about. Nobody knows any of this stuff that's over here. That's one reason why they can't do anything about it, because it's a hard thing to do when you don't know what to do.
So how would you be able to prove your nationality over here? Saying like global migration already. Like I said, I understand like the concept of the priests of over there from Egypt came over here with the Moabite, the Canaanites, the Hedonites, something like that, and they populated the land. Now, how would you go about claiming your nationality but not knowing exactly which one of those tribes you came from? Because, like, I think South Carolina was the Yemenis or the Japanese, something like that, Georgia. Like, it was different names and sections of us over here, even with the whole, I would like to say what culture, like the culture would be, what, the